back to the Patrick Lane Show, where we talk about personal finance, investing, and real estate. And today was another chapter in the GameStop Saga. But before we get into that, do me a favor, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell, and we really appreciate your help in growing the channel. And every time you smash that like button or hit the subscribe or notification bell, YouTube likes it and they try to push the video out to other people who they think will like. So we really appreciate your help in doing that. So today was the third installment of the congressional hearings on the House side regarding the GameStop short squeeze. So if you remember, there, of course, the GameStop short squeeze that's, happened in January and February and March, and now we're into May and it's still going on. But we've had two hearings already in the House, and predictably, the questions from the members of Congress were about the same. So I don't know that we've actually learned anything more about what happened during the GameStop situation. We don't know any more about Robinhood shutting people off, or Webull shutting people off, or any of the other brokerages shutting off retail investors so that we couldn't buy when we wanted to buy. And we don't know any more about any of the hedge funds and Citadel and any of that situation. We don't really know anything more about any of that. But today it was more the regulators coming in. So it was the first time that we had really some public comments from Gary Gensler, who's the new SEC chairman. And of course the SEC regulates any stocks and securities, investments, that sort of thing. And so it was really an interesting look at where his mind is, what his ideas are, what his focus is going to be for these sorts of situations where we're talking about retail investors in the marketplace. And so what did we learn? I mean, I think we learned, first of all, that this Representative David Scott from Georgia just has no clue about anything. His only purpose on this committee is to try to regulate free speech. He hates Wall Street bets. He hates Reddit. He hates you and me and retail investors talking to one another about what stocks we should buy. He wants to clamp down on free speech. That's what we know from this guy. A lot of the other people, it seemed like, they didn't ask real specific questions. When they asked real specific questions, when the handful of people who did ask specific questions asked them, it sounded to me like they wanted to limit retail investors' ability to participate in the market. They called us, looking at GameStop, investing in GameStop, buying GameStop, market manipulation. They said that we were naive or we were inexperienced and we didn't know what we were doing and how to invest, and they want to protect us. Well, I don't know if you need it, but I certainly don't need Congress to wrap me up in bubble wrap and protect me from investing. And so that's really what I'm worried about going forward, is when I hear Gary Gensler from the SEC say things like, we don't want to interfere with free speech, but we don't want people talking about their investments on Reddit or on social media because that's too much of an influence. That sort of bothers me. Now, he tried to qualify it and say we're just talking about market manipulation and not free speech. Well, who defines what manipulation is? Is it 1,000 or 8,000 or 100,000 people on Reddit saying, hey, let's all go buy the same stock? Is that manipulation? Or is it someone who works for a hedge fund getting onto Wall Street bets and saying, don't buy this stock, it's bad, when we know that they're trying to short the stock? Frankly, I think that most of the people in that committee, and I said this in a previous video when we talked about the hearing, the problem is they're just too old to understand the way technology works. They keep hitting again over and over and over on gamification. Well, gamification is nothing. Why shouldn't investing be fun? I mean, I don't think that you are being brainwashed into buying more stock than you want to or selling more stock than you want to, because when you buy or sell a stock, Robinhood shoots up some confetti on your phone screen. It just doesn't make any sense. But they keep going after gamification, and they keep going after uneducated and naive investors, when really what they ought to be talking about are the things like shorting. How can we short 150% of a stock? Maybe we ought to be able to. Maybe we shouldn't be able to. But that discussion isn't really taking place. When we talk about, the one thing that they do talk about is payment for order flow, which is interesting because it's really been payment for order flow that has allowed the free trading platforms for retail investors to pop up. Robinhood makes its money from payment for order flow. Well, I know, some of us don't like Robinhood, and it's had a bad rap over the last few months, and that's because they make their money from selling the order flow to market makers. And of course, Citadel has a division that is a market maker, and so that sort of gets people up in arms. And maybe that's true. Maybe they shouldn't do that. But the allegation in Congress is that Citadel sees all that order flow and buys the stocks themselves as an investment before they place the order from Robinhood. And I don't know that there's actually any facts that show that that happens. Now, look, it's not my job to defend Robinhood. It's not my job to defend Citadel or any of the market makers or hedge funds, certainly. But what I want is the free flow of information. I want to know if a stock is shorted, how many shares are actually shorted. It should be real-time information out there. If Robinhood is getting payment for order flow, then just tell us that that's how they make their money. And then we as retail investors can decide, is this something we're okay with, or is it something that we want to look elsewhere? But what I'm worried about is every time Congress or the SEC talks about how to fix this situation, and that's another question, is there really a situation to fix? But every time they talk about fixing the situation, it's always targeted at us, the retail investors, and never the hedge funds or the market makers who are arguably the bigger problem in this situation. They want us to have to go through a broker. They want us to not have free trades. They want us to have to pay for education and trade execution. And all of those things are going to limit the number of investors, retail investors, small investors, and they're also going to limit our opportunities if we've got to pay for that. I talked in another video about how it didn't used to be free. And a lot of people may not remember that, it used to be $29 to execute a trade. It was $8 and $12, $29, and you had to go down to somebody's office or call them, get them on the phone to be able to do that. And now we can just open that app on our phone, whether it's Robinhood or Webull or eToro or any of the others, and push the button and execute that order. So, and it doesn't cost us anything in most cases. So I think, again, Congress has missed the boat. They absolutely missed the boat. And instead of trying to figure out, number one, is there a problem? Because they still, in their questions, they still keep talking about, this problem and all these people lost money and this is just, the stock price of GameStop is based on nothing and, it's spiked and everybody lost money. Well, it hasn't really. I mean, if you look at it, it's sort of settled. I mean, it's around the 140, 150, 170 range, something like that. It sort of stayed there for a good while. I think the 200-day average is right in that sort of range. So, it's not that it spiked up to 400 and then went back to 12, but it spiked up, it dropped when we weren't allowed to buy anymore, and then it sort of leveled out and it stayed within a decent 10% range up or down basically for a good long while now. And so if that's the case, if we've got a long running average that it stayed in between a trading range, then what makes them think in Congress that there's a problem with GameStop that needs to be fixed by limiting our access to information, limiting our access as retail traders to be able to trade, and limiting our ability to trade for free. Now, heaven forbid we enjoy trading. We don't want the gamification of trading. But, I think the problem is that these people in Congress are just boomers. If you look at every one of them, it's, they're all over 60. The guy, Gensler, I don't know how old he is, but he looks like he's up there too. They just don't understand the new technology, the new way that people want to trade. Frankly, they don't understand the information and the education and research that Wall Street Bets and other Reddit communities and any of us who are retail traders do. We have all of the information that 10 years ago a broker had to be paid to provide us. We have that at our fingertips for free now. So why do we have to go pay somebody? We can read and digest that information. And if you don't want to read and digest the information yourself, guess what? You can still go down to the office downtown and pay your local broker whatever they're asking to execute your order. So I don't know. Let me know what you think. Is Congress spinning their wheels? When they finally do something, is it going to actually hurt us instead of correcting any problems? And frankly, is there really a problem that needs corrected? Or did the market just work? That we saw an opportunity to make money, we invested, and we're making money. So do me a favor, leave those comments down below. And if you've got any entertainment or education out of this video, do me a favor, smash the like button, hit the subscribe button, ring the notification bell. We really appreciate your help in growing the channel. We're trying to get up to that 1,000 subscriber mark, and we want to do it real soon. And we need your help to do it. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you in the next video.